Hello everybody and welcome to Tech Talk Tonight. This is episode number 22. 23 I believe, actually. Isn't that correct? Gavin, back me up on that.
I don't know. I was drunk half of the time.
I don't doubt that. But you should know this. You're the... You keep all of the books and stuff. Remember?
Tech Talk Tonight 23, my Google Calendar is telling me.
There we go. See? Now I go in and I switch this around and we say that we're just having technical difficulties. And
it's the Michael Jordan episode.
Ah, very nice. So, yes, Brayden Henze here. Good old Slim Studios, Highland, Illinois, blah, blah, blah. Gavin, where are you at these days?
I'm in a bunker down by the river.
Which river is that?
Chicago River. It's green.
Why is it green?
They're getting ready for St. Patrick's Day in like 3 weeks.
Excellent. So, now we'll switch over to the chat room, I believe. Yes, there we go. And we'll stick with that. And, alright, so let's get kicked off here. Yesterday, what happened yesterday, Gavin, that was so important to me and probably didn't matter one bit to you?
I don't know. There was some sort of Twitter thing about the Oscars or something. What is the Oscars? I don't even know.
Just the Twitter thing about the Oscars, or actually the Oscars happened and...
Dude, well, I mean, Rob and I, we don't really have a TV, so...
No TV whatsoever.
Well, we do have a TV, but we don't know if it works, so...
What?
I basically watched on Twitter, but I hear that, what movies won? Were there any tech movies?
Okay, so the big three things that everybody kind of talks about the next day is, first you got... Best Actress, which went to Natalie Portman for her role in Black Swan. Then you had Colin Firth, who played the King in The King's Speech. And then the Best Picture of the Year, and also the movie won Best Director, which those two awards normally go hand in hand, went to The King's Speech. Which is...
Really? Those usually go to hand in hand?
Yes.
That's really interesting. That's something I legit never knew.
It has... happened to where the director and the best picture weren't the same thing, and somebody I saw right before the Oscars started said that it might actually be different this year, just because that they thought that The Social Network might get best picture, but King's Speech might still get best director, and I didn't know how it was going to go. Actually, I thought the Academy was going to go with The Social Network just because of the buzz early on, but my pick was still Black Swan. I think that was the best picture.
Okay, so you know, you've been prompting me the month-long time where you were trying to get me to watch The Social Network, right?
Yeah. Which is the whole reason why we're actually talking about this, because The Social Network is a techie movie. Not to, you know, we're kind of infringing upon the Slimcast is what I'm trying to get at here. We're Tech Talk Tonight, so...
Well, when's the last time Slimcast happened? Like 1982?
We'll get back to that someday, I swear. There's big things in the works. But okay, Social Network, Gavin. You finally saw it.
So Katie and I sat down to watch The Social Network. I don't know, I wasn't really that impressed. I was expecting more, I guess, is the bottom line. To make a long story short.
Expecting more out of what exactly?
So, like, I mean, why do people like this movie? You are someone who said you slightly like it.
Yeah.
I like the whole time I was just too caught up with like that they were trying to make the story more glitzy than it actually was. They were trying to make it more dramatic than it actually was. They were introducing conflicts that I believe didn't happen.
Okay.
Okay,
let me address your first question first.
I know, and you're going to say that the factual accuracy of it is not important, but, like, that impeded on my entertainment. Like,
okay.
I was interested in knowing the story of Facebook, and that was the entertainment, but they didn't tell me the story of Facebook. They told me a made-up story in which Facebook existed.
But the actual story of Facebook probably would have been better told in a documentary, don't you think? It probably wouldn't have been as exciting as the movie was. I don't believe that, you know, he chose the best coder for his website startup by who could drink the most and code the fastest. Although I could see that happening at some point. Maybe not for the Facebook or whatever. Your first question, though, was why I like this movie. in the fact that I thought I found it entertaining, even though, yeah, I took it with a grain of salt that this isn't like Jesse Eisenberg isn't Mark Zuckerberg in real life, even though he tries to. I don't know. He creates that character that is how Jesse Eisenberg kind of plays all of his characters. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. The editing, which the Social Network won Oscar for editing for this, which it was edgy. I liked it. You know, I like seeing movies about things that I'm interested in, and Social Network.
I mean, it was slightly interested. I guess I'm saying that I wanted to love this movie. I wanted to find it interesting.
Okay.
Like, Facebook is interesting. It happened while we were growing up, right? This whole thing happened while I was in high school. While you were probably in, I don't know. You're much older than me. You were probably
I'm not that much older than
then.
you. I was probably in college.
But so the girlfriend
college,
fact, Katie in the chat room said that I brought this up a lot, and I mean she's right, because the story pretty much revolves around lost loves, right?
Okay.
Because the Napster guy had his, and then the other guy had got into, I don't know, you fill in the rest.
Okay.
But from the beginning to end, it was talking about the Facebook guy, what's his name? Zuckerberg?
Mark
Zuckerberg's love and how he made Facebook to get back at this girl that the movie introed with.
Right.
But that wasn't true at all. That never happened. He's had the same girlfriend for what, 9 years?
But the comment on that is they added that element of the movie to. Okay, so why is there a love element in tons of movies? Like an action movie, why does it need to be clouded up with that love story? It gives it a plot, basically. You know, it's giving the normal everyday viewer, not people like us that do technology stuff all the time. We're watching the movie for that. Other people needed an element in the movie that they could relate to, thus they add in the love story. That's the easy thing that everybody can relate to. So they put that in there, and it's basically every movie is guy meets girl, guy falls in love with girl, or vice versa, girl falls in love with guy. Then guy loses girl, and then finally at the end either guy gets girl back or guy loses girl forever. That's the minuscule, like the bare bones of a plot for 90% of movies. And
I mean, BB in the chat room is saying the love story is a subplot to keep people bored with the story.
Well,
but that's true. And that brings up another point against it that I have, is that like when I was done with the movie, I like thought about it, right?
Okay.
And I felt like nothing really happened. Like, what happened in the movie? I can summarize it in like 2 sentences. Like,
they became
he created
billionaires.
something in Harvard, he moved to California, he screwed his friends, and he made Facebook. Like, that's the story.
Okay.
Like,
what part of that isn't
happened.
true?
What?
What part of that isn't true?
Well, the whole girlfriend plot was not true.
Okay, but besides that, what of
There's
that
like
you just said
there's
isn't
8
true
facts.
though? He screwed his friends. He made Facebook. He did stuff at Harvard. All that stuff happened.
Yeah, so those major points happened, but a lot of the details that they put in there did not actually happen.
Okay. Well, that's what we think about Facebook, or the social network. Sorry.
I think it is interesting that I mean, it was a decent movie, but it wasn't like Home Alone 2 Lost in New York level quality.
Which
right?
is one of 2 movies you had seen up till the point you saw Facebook.
Hey, I saw Toy Story 3. This was pretty huge.
Okay, Toy Story 3 was also up for Best Picture. Now I gotta.
They should have won.
I don't think they should have won, but
dude, Toy Story 3 was better than Facebook movie.
Yeah, but you haven't seen The King's Speech or The Black Swan or any of those yet either. And The King's Speech is the one that won, so you could say that Toy Story 3 beat out The Social Network just because there are no second and third places. So go with it that way.
Rob says The Fighter.
The Fighter was also up.
Marky
Mark and
yeah, I want to see The King's Speech. I have no clue what it's going to be about, so I have no presuppositions or whatever the word is that I had for the Facebook movie going in. Like the
Okay.
Facebook movie,
The title tells you what it's all about.
The King's Speech
Yes.
or the Facebook movie?
The King's Speech tells you what the movie is all about.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's like Martin Luther King Jr. or if it's like a king in Egypt.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Except if you knew who Colin Firth was, that you would already know. Anyway,
I know him. He's the guy in Love Actually.
Okay, let's move on. On to other technology things. Well, there was one other thing. You didn't actually see the Oscars, but they did a pretty cool effect with Bob Hope, one of the original presenters, not the
whoa,
hosts.
what just happened? I couldn't hear you for like the past 3 seconds.
Okay, one of the cool things that they did at the Oscars, as far as special effects and stuff was concerned, they right before they gave out the best special effects award, they had this more or less podium set up with a screen above it, and they had taken old footage of Bob Hope, who used to be one of the big time presenters for the Oscars when they first started out, and they more or less rotoscoped him out. Bob Hope, I mean, is that who I'm saying? It is Bob Hope, isn't it? I hope that's it. Anyway, so they rotoscoped him like out, and they actually made him look like he was standing there at this podium, which somebody on Twitter then said like they've reduced Bob Hope to one of the ghosts at Disney World's Haunted Mansion. But I still think it was a pretty cool effect right before you're going into the special effects portion of your ceremony. That
Well, that is kind of cool. They did something new.
Right.
Did they? Did it like look fake, or did it look real?
You could, well, I know the whole process of rotoscoping and the fact that you're cutting this picture out of film. So I was looking at that like minuscule line right at the edge of him, and it kind of looked like he was cookie cutter. That's a pretty good word to describe it. Like the little hair sticking off of the side of his head, that wasn't there. Like you could tell that was all cut out around him.
Yeah, like photoshopped.
Right. But anyway, I like that portion of it. We'll move on.
That is kind of interesting. Who won the special effects? The Matrix?
No. Yes, The Matrix, which I believe they're going to make another one of those. So you say that now, and we'll probably be talking about that in years to come, that The Matrix is going to come back and win special effects again. But no, Inception won Best Special Effects.
Ah, I saw that movie.
You did?
Yeah.
Interesting. What you think
Are
of
you
that
proud
one?
of me?
No, we should move on. No more movies. Moving on.
I'll ruin it for everyone.
You would.
The
Career life and
over.
work balance, my friend. Career life and work balance. You know all about that since you're working all of the time. Even now, I'm making you work.
What were we going to talk about this? I remember I put it in the thing. Oh, yeah.
This was your story.
The story is that it's a rumor that Johnny Ive is so for those who don't know, Johnny Ive, you have to say it like that every time.
Okay.
In your best British accent. Johnny Ive is the designer behind almost every single Apple product since Steve Jobs has been back, including the MacBook, what were the stupid colorful PCs?
They were iMacs. They were one of the early generations of iMacs.
iMacs, iPods,
iPad. Basically, the sleek design that is synonymous
Emacs.
with Apple's is Johnny Ive, basically.
Ive. And I believe we have a clip live from the Apple campus. Is this right, Braden?
That I have
not a clip.
I have
It's
the clip,
live.
or you have the clip?
You do.
I don't have it.
Are we failing?
I don't have anything.
What? I thought you pulled up a clip of Johnny Ive and we were going to act like it was like he was talking to us.
This is like from 8 years ago because you can tell by the video quality, and it's not going to play because I don't have a video switch to go to it. Anyway, I'm Johnny Ive. That's what he would have said had I had that clip prepared that Gavin didn't prepare me for whatsoever. Anyway.
So I guess the story...
So what's Johnny Ive going to do?
I mean, it's just fun to talk about Johnny Ive, but the story is that he wants to send his kids to school in England, but Apple will not let him do that. They want to keep him. They want to keep him locked up on the campus on Apple in where are they in? Sunnyvale, California or something?
Yeah. Well, what I read out of the story was he wants to go over there and make sure that they're getting this proper British education, which would involve him teaching them from, I think, part of it at least. And he basically, Apple's saying you can't work abroad. You have to be here in America to be working for us. That's what's happening. But I thought actually when you put this into Wave, you were actually going to start balancing our work and our career life type deals. Like, how does this relate to you, Gavin? Are you looking to go abroad to teach your kids in some foreign country?
Yeah, I mean, I have many kids across the globe, and
Oh, really?
need to make sure they're all educated.
I was unaware of this. How many kids do you have, and where are they all located? And who, you want to clue us into who's the lucky lady?
I can't. I'm not allowed to discuss that pending legal issues. But
Understood.
let's just say that I don't even know what to say.
Exactly. So you're just going to admit that you work too much, and that once the time comes for you to be able to basically take care of, or when there are people in your life that you are going to need to take care of, is the workload for you going to go down exponentially, or are you going to constantly fight that with working
Wow, that
from
was
home?
like the most complicated sentence I've ever heard in my life, Brandon.
I'm dancing around the issue. What do you want me to say?
Well, I mean, the point is that like we all work too much, right? It seems like our generation, even though studies say that we're supposed to be the generation that doesn't want to work because we saw our parents working a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, oh no, we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be our parents who didn't come to our baseball games and things, but we're still doing that. And we're still working crazy hours, and we're still working on the weekends. And why is that? And it's a very interesting question. I don't have the answer. Maybe you do.
Maybe the chat room has the answer. Chat room, why do we work so much? Tell us about that. We fail.
Well, in the chat room, Rob said, "I'm still at work right now," and then he quit the chat room. So I think
that's kind of sad. No, he's back. Okay. All is well. Here's hoping work didn't kick him off all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I can relate to the whole I don't want to work thing, though, because my parents work a heck of a lot. My mom has pneumonia and is still trying to get to work. How crazy is that?
That's nuts.
Which I need to call my poor dear mother here yet tonight, because her computer died in the storm last night. So here's
Good old
hoping,
Betty.
Yeah, here's hoping it's just, something got unplugged. I don't know.
Is Betty watching?
Highly doubtful.
We could, isn't that going to be our next shtick, where we just, when we totally give up on the fact that we're not likable, we're just going to take computer help calls?
We'll take computer help calls, from my
from
mom,
people's mothers.
my mother-in-law, perhaps, with all their computer needs. That might happen. I don't have a good way of piping my phone into the audio system, which I might be able to figure that out someday, but I thought about doing that tonight, but we'll save that for another time. How about? All right.
Details.
I still got 2 more things on the list here, and we're probably already running long. You got a square, I hear. You're a square. What's square about you?
So you told me that you're going to give me your credit card number on air, right?
I already gave you my credit card number over IM. Didn't you save that? Didn't I also give you my social?
I think you were giving me like your like arch enemy's credit card number so that I could like steal from him or something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Check it out. Can you see it?
Am I cut too? You are cut too.
This is the Square device. You can get them for free. I know I'm kind of behind the times on this because the news stories broke that these things were free in like June, but I finally got an iPhone. Finally got one of these. The story this week was that they were cutting their fees.
Are you going around and selling Girl Scout cookies and accepting credit? Because I always thought that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Actually,
I wish I were a Girl Scout.
If the pizza man last night would have been able to take my credit card, that would have been a lot better, as opposed to me having to look all over the house for cash. Even better. Why hasn't this happened? Why can't... If that thing exists, why isn't everybody using it? I want to know
Well,
that
I mean,
answer.
first of all, Square takes like 2.6% out of every
Hmm.
transaction, right?
Okay, but that
So
went
Pizza
down.
Hut has narrow margins already, or so they say. So they don't want to put like 2% out of billions of dollars is a lot of money.
Yeah, I can understand that. I get the whole concept of why that. Okay.
So that's why, I mean, that's why I feel like they're targeting individuals because if I'm selling like tchotchkes that are like I'm gonna make like $200 in a month,
Mm-hmm.
it's only gonna be like $2 or $3 or $4. I'm not a math major,
So
but
so
it's
who
not as
is
big of a
using
deal
this
to
thing
me to
then?
lose. The convenience is worth it to me.
Okay, okay. And this
And you
is
can also take payments by just typing in the credit card number without using the swiper device. So that's kind of nice as well.
gotcha. Chat room says, Pizza Hut. Which is actually, okay, once again getting off topic. But the Pizza Hut guy shows up last night and just starts talking to me about video cameras. I don't think I even said, how are you? I think he just said, I'm fine. So I bought this Pixma camera at Best Buy. And all of a sudden they've come out with this new model. And I mean, the guy, I don't know what happened. I believe I was ear raped by the Pizza Hut guy last night. Which, Pizza Hut guy,
Really?
if you're watching, I love you dearly. Don't spit in my food.
Well, I mean, he sits in the delivery truck all night. He just wants to talk to somebody.
It's true, and he was very distraught about having just purchased this camera. And the thing about it was his Pixma camera that he loved it, but it wasn't good at the time of night. And he described because it was late. It was during the Oscars last night that the camera doesn't do well in low light, and they came out with this new model that's better and does better in low light, and that's what he's wanting now. And man,
Well, there's so many issues there. There's
I
like
guess
consumerism. There's the fact that you were buying a pizza by yourself, watching the Oscars,
I was
wearing
not alone.
no pants.
Hang on, was not alone. It was Andrea's idea to get the pizza, and that's what I have to say about that.
You did not dispute the no pants.
That's what I have to say about
Moving
that.
on. What else do we have?
Wow. Buttons. We need to
Yeah,
talk about
buttons.
buttons, because I was told we need to talk about buttons by our most loyal listener who was here before I spammed the rest of you.
Oh, this is extremely geeky, but I guess
Hey, we've got to go into it. It was requested.
well, Rob's already talking about this, but like have you so you know like not HTML buttons, but you know like buttons that are made out of images on websites
Yes, I do know
and
of
how
these.
like
Having used a website before in my life, I know that there are buttons on them.
so like good designers will create buttons that look good but that can be uh that can be sliced up so that you can take like a 1 pixel wide by like the height of the button and then you use HTML and CSS to stretch it to the width of the button
Okay.
or basically replicate it, tile it, and then the size to download this button is like very very small.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Well, I was working on a website that the crazy designers just decide to like make them wood buttons and make each one different. So like I have to create every single button and they're all different and it's going to be like 300 kilobytes instead of half a kilobyte to download the buttons. I don't know.
So
This makes me sound crazy,
when
but
I want
it's
to
a fact of life.
visit this website on my 56K modem, how long is it going to take me to see these wood buttons?
I don't know. That is kind of funny. You know, like when you know Adobe Dreamweaver,
I do
how
know
it still
Adobe
has
Dreamweaver.
like the 56K modem times, and you'll be like putting in images and stuff, and it'll be like, this is going to take 600 seconds on 56K modem. It's like
So now,
websites
no.
aren't even designed for that
Yes.
anymore. It's kind of crazy these times we live in.
Awesome. Very nice. So you're telling me that I need to go out and learn better HTML and CSS and have better buttons.
Yeah, that's the point of that story. And designers don't be crazy. Make buttons that make sense. Don't get all artsy fartsy on us.
Is there a way to make that wood button that I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better way to do that wood button. Make CSS buttons.
not really.
Rob G says. Is that the You don't know. If I
No, that's what I'm talking about. CSS buttons.
Okay, I got you. Fair enough.
Man, we're up to 8 viewers. This is a huge night.
I know. I feel like we should make the show just keep going because everybody's here now. You know, Clayton's
No,
here. The
well, I
party's
mean, they're
going
just
on.
coming for the after show because that's
Oh,
the
okay.
best part.
So we should just move right on into the after show, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I think we should end this.
We
Do you
are
have
all
anything
through
else
our
to talk about?
stories, and we didn't have huge lulls. So, hey, let's play some outro music and get ourselves a beer and move on with our lives, shall we? Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Tech Talk tonight. Gavin, thank you. You just drink your coffee and
Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/GavinR.
and follow me at Braden Henze. And no, at Braden H. There we go. The music's over. The thing's done.
Bye.
Bye.